YouTube video. What do you say? Any thoughts? Any words about bus life that you want to share? Hi, YouTube! What's up? Are you excited to be here today?
Woo!
Say hi. What's up, people? Party people in the house.
Hey YouTube, my name is Kiki.
My parents are forcing me to do this. What is up, guys, and welcome back to this little corner of the internet.
I am Zach, if you are new around here.
I am Fiorella, and today the star of the show is this little girl right here, Kiki.
Today we are going to talk about something that we get asked all the time. People comment about it, ask questions about it, send us messages, and that is all about living on the road with one of these.
With one of these.
With a furry cat.
She's not very thrilled to be here with us today, but
No, she's
yes.
not.
Let's get to today's video, guys. So we've been living in the road for a year and living in the bus for over 1 year. So about a year and a few months. And during that entire time, we've had Kiki with us. So a little backstory about the cat that we're going to be talking about today.
So Kiki is 13 years old. We adopted her when she was 10 years old from the local animal shelter where we were living. She'd been in and out of the shelter all of her life. The longest that she was in a home before us was about 2.5 years. So she had gone through a few different homes, and she was in the shelter for a couple of years before we were lucky enough to find her and adopt her.
Kiki is a very shy and timid, old grumpy lady. And she chose us more than we chose her. And when we decided we wanted to do this journey, we knew that she had to be obviously included and involved. So obviously we have a lot of concerns considering that we made the decision to move into a vehicle when it comes to an animal joining us in the adventure. So today we're going to make sure we give you guys tips and all of our experience in a year of bus life with a cat. So let's get right into it.
So we should start from the very beginning, which is...
Kiki's literally sitting
She's
in our
literally
notes.
came and laid on our notes.
So that's lovely. She's supervising. Even if you can't see her, she's right down. She's just looking up. She's right down here.
One of the things that we get asked the most is how she transitioned into the bus. How moving from a stationary place where we were living to moving to a place that has the ability to move all the time, and what that transition was like. So we were a little concerned with how she would handle it, so we wanted to be as precautionary as possible and take any extra steps that we could take to make her feel as comfortable as possible. So
she does not like change. So we had changed apartments once before doing the bus, and she hid for like 2 weeks, refused to go out, refused to be seen. She felt really just uncomfortable in a new space. So we really had to prepare for that coming into the bus. So a few of the tips or things that we did to make sure that transition was as smooth as we could was having a lot of things outside when we brought her into the bus the day that we moved in that smelled like home or smelled like us or smelled like her, things that she was very familiar with. We made sure that we're really out and about, like in the floor, so that she felt comfortable. And like we said, the previous experience was not so great when we moved with Kiki, but moving into the bus, if you've been here since that vlog, you know that she was coming out of the drawers where she was hiding that first day, just within hours of us moving into the bus. And not just coming out, like coming out and exploring and smelling. And also when we did start driving, we took little drives at a time, and she used to be really scared of the engine turning on, and like she would kind of run. And I think the more we did it and the more we kind of reinforced, like if she was out when we would turn the bus on, we would try to give her a treat or like hold her, make her feel comfortable. And I think all those little steps really helped into the transition for bus life.
yeah, I think a lot of people's main concern is the engine and the actual act of driving. So when we were easing into the drives and stuff, before we even started driving, we would just turn the bus on for a little bit and let her experience that her house makes this crazy noise and shakes a little bit. So I think that also helps to like sort of build up that confidence that, okay, it makes this noise, but at the end of the day it turns off and I'm completely safe.
Yeah, so actually we've been really lucky with Kiki driving, because quickly into us driving cross state, she was coming out. She was going up to Zach when we were driving and sitting in his lap and sitting with me. So she definitely like quickly realized that it was okay.
Other thing, like to add to like having, you know, your clothes and stuff out for familiar scents, something that we did was when we were bringing something that we were going to bring into the bus, we would bring it back to our apartment first. So we would buy the fridge and we would bring it to our apartment and let it be in the apartment for a week or so. So she's rubbing on it and smells it and is familiar with that. So she's already, you know, like marking that with like her scent, and she understands, okay, like she can make that connection from like these foreign things that she doesn't necessarily like have so much experience with, like our clothes.
Moving on to another topic we want to try, touch in, is the outdoors. And I think that's the biggest thing when you're traveling with a pet and you are in these wild camping spots. Like, you're maybe want to leave the door open. And when we started opening the door, it was back when we were in our seasonal job in the farm in Colorado, so we were stationary. And I think that did help a lot, because Kiki little by little started like getting curious about the door. It was actually not in like immediate, but we will say this is obviously our experience with our elderly lady cat, because we do have other friends who have cats on the road who are really eager to go outside, and if they have even a slight window open, they will try to go outside. I think the age plays a role, and obviously like maybe other things, but with her, it was little by little. When we were stationary, I would actually take her on walks in the morning to like make her feel comfortable. So little by little, we started introducing her to the outdoors. We had never done this before with Kiki. Never. Once we tried to take her on a walk and it was disastrous. So we had never done that. It was something that she initiated, and we kind of just followed so that we started noticing that she wanted to go outdoors, and we started kind of paying attention to that. We do think that Kiki was probably an interior and exterior cat in a past life, because we didn't have to train her.
I think that, you know, cats are already super like primal and sensory, and they understand like where they live in their habitat. And like she's saying, we could see her go out and we could see her double check to see like, okay, that's my bus. I'm 50 feet away, but like my bus is right there. So.
Yeah, and creating a routine for like the coming back, like as soon as we started noticing that she wanted to go outside, we started kind of associating like when we call back like Kiki and we clap, and that's really helped her realize like, okay, I need to go home. Like that's like my going back home sign. And every time she did it, when she came back after we clapped, we would give her like a treat, and that really helped. Now we can do it, and she immediately knows to come back. Now again, when we're saying that Kiki goes outdoors, she stays within visible of like sight of the bus pretty much at all times. She's very slow outside. Like she's not like really smelling and like going out there. She kind of really takes her time. She actually really loves the like underneath part of the bus, so she'll just like go out and like just kind of go and like sit under the bus. That's like what she does. I would say most of the time she's outdoors. We do keep an eye, especially in the farm. We were scared of birds of prey, which is something you should consider. You're going to be in a big spot and you're going to let your cat roam. But again, like we said, we do trust that Kiki, because we've seen her experience the outdoors. She's very just shy, so she'll just stay very close to the bus home.
Yeah, if you think that your cat would be one to dart or run or get really excited about being outside, I would definitely recommend like starting with a leash, with a harness, and you know, like easing them and being there with them, and then maybe moving to like tying the leash to like part of your bus so that they have like limited mobility, but they understand that like, okay, I need to be in this at least general area.
The outdoors, I would say, have absolutely changed Kiki's life. Like to see her rolling around in dirt and to like see her experience it is absolutely one of the most incredible gifts that I've been given in life. And I could get emotional because we love her so much, and to see her truly thrive and to get to experience like I remember this one time we were in Yellowstone and we were getting ready to go for a hike, and like she came outside and was like literally just like right outside of the doors of the bus, and she was sniffing, and then this geyser went off and her eyes just like they were like, whoa, like what is that? So it was such just like we have such a special moments of her just enjoying and reconnecting with her wild to some degree, and we're just honored to be able to see and gift her that.
It's a pretty fulfilling experience to see her like physically change how she acts and how she looks at things, and just having like the back window open and she just like sits there and just looks outside all day and just like feels the breeze, and like having a new backyard every couple weeks is like super stimulating for them and super intriguing because it's a whole new scent and a whole new place, just like dogs, you know. It's just like a place they've never been.
So next point would be around other animals, which is another thing that we get asked a lot, which is very fair because we didn't know how Kiki was going to respond to other animals because we haven't had other animals and she's never been around other animals until bus life. Again, this is so personality and like experience based on your cat's personality, but Kiki is so shy and such a grumpy lady that she refuses and wants absolutely nothing to do with any animals. She's actually quite jealous.
Yes, she's a very jealous cat. Like we're saying, she goes outside a lot when we are just parked at a spot by ourselves, but the second she realizes that there's another animal around or anything like that, she pretty much just stays in the bus and just stares at us from the stairs, and she doesn't really like to adventure too much. She's much more cautious about when she does it. She makes sure that there's not any animals around, and yeah, she's definitely not a social butterfly. We
have seen her get a little feisty with other animals, like territorial when it comes to the bus. Like if they're in here, she will hiss and like kind of have a reaction. Nothing like ever bad. Like I think she understands that she's old and like she can't like compete, but she's been like setting down her mark lately, which has been fun to see too. So yeah, so that's her. Her every day is sleeping, so we can't tell you much about what she does every day. She eats and drinks water and sleeps and hangs out in windows, and that's one thing we're so happy for her, that we have these big windows with so much sun, so she like just rotates around the house throughout the day, which is so fun to see.
The thing that people are very concerned about or ask us a lot about is like the temperature control with a animal, let alone a cat that's spending a lot of the time indoors. You know, people are always wondering if we worry about the temperature.
First, we obviously care. Like I think any bus lifer, van lifer, whatever lifer that's out there with an animal obviously cares about the well-being of their animal. Like we're the ones that get super scared when it is going to be hot, and we actually make a lot of our cooling or heating decisions based on her, not necessarily on us, because we can go through it, but we have her in the forefront of our minds when both of those extremes are happening. Thankfully, we've been able to really control both. Like the one time we were in really cold weather in Colorado, we did had plug-ins, so we did had electrical heaters running.
We haven't really been in such extreme heat that she struggles.
Yeah.
If it's hotter, she just is even mellower than she usually is, and if it's colder, she just like snuggles next to the heater and next to us and takes our body heat and stuff. So like
she sleeps under the covers when it's winter.
Yeah, it's so cute. But like we're not like.
She also, when it is hot, like if it's getting hotter, we have fans blowing, and she actually hates the fan. That's why I say she like does better in the heat. But she does also go under the bed where it's like dark and always cold, and she has this one corner that she likes to go to that I know is always cold. So if it is hot and we feel uncomfortable, we will put the fan down there so that she has that extra circulation, so she's in a dark, cool place with the fan. So that's pretty cool.
And I guess that takes us to the next point, which is her room.
It is her room. So we are going to give you a little walkthrough of Kiki's room. So that area back there is her path, and for us, if we go right here and open the garage door, we would have to technically take this container out of the way to get the litter fully out. But as you can tell, we have access to her litter right from here. Her access is right over in this side. It does look like we need to clean that. But she has all the space to hang around, and if she wants to be back here. But then she also has access to the garage. Because everyone wants to know where the litter is. And does the litter smell, Zachary?
The litter does not smell if you maintain it correctly, you know? It's pretty straightforward stuff. If you don't let the litter pile up for weeks and weeks and weeks on end, you're going to be okay. You know, we have it right underneath our bed. Sometimes we have our head on this side of the bed, and I would say we pretty much never smell.
If you are thinking about doing bus life with your cat, with your dog, with whatever animal you have, it's super incredible to see them in this journey too, right? Because it's their journey, their adventure too, and it's really, really incredible to see them explore their wild and connect to their wild. And yeah, I'm just really happy to see her.
It's really adorable. And at the end of the day, like, you know your pet more than anybody else knows your pet. So like,
very true.
Just take what everybody says into consideration, but you, at the end of the day, just make the final decisions based on what's going to be best for you and for your family. And
which, if you have one, tell us what you have.
If you have a pet, let us know what you have. Let us know what their names are.
Do we have other cat lovers here? Because we love
have any
cats.
Cat lovers,
Kiki would like a boyfriend.
I don't know that she would, but
maybe like an old, mature boyfriend.
Yeah,
she's only had like young.
Yeah, if there's any senior male cats out there that are single, hit us up. You know, we can arrange a little Skype date or something.
There you go. She would be sleeping for it, like she is for this video that we asked her to be in. But anyway, Kiki, I'm going to talk about your food. Do you want to come? Yeah, I'll do it. Don't worry. Okay, so one thing we wanted to mention and not forget is Kiki's food. So we have been rotating her food more because of availability and what we find in the supermarkets according to where we are. She doesn't seem to have a problem with it. She actually seems to enjoy the different kind of food. We kind of stay within the certain things that she likes. But one thing that I wanted to talk about in relation to food is mice. So surprisingly, your cat food will attract mice. And Kiki is actually quite a hunter. We have had some cases of mice in the bus, usually when we're stationary for quite a period of time. But Kiki has shown up for it as a little guard cat. She's catched quite a few, but when it comes to animals, I think this would be the same with dogs. Their food attracts mice, and we used to have just a bag, like the paper bag or the type of bag it came in. We used to keep it in the garage. We realized that we're getting into it, and it was also just really hard to keep with all the movement that happens in the garage. So I would definitely say the biggest tip if you have a pet in bus life is finding some kind of container that mice can't get into, and that allows you to kind of bulk storage food in an efficient way.
Family.
So Kiki's camera shy to say thank you, but thank you for watching this video. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, as always, drop them in the comments. We're more than happy to answer. And Kiki would love to know if you guys like what we said about her. She probably will edit this video with a grouchy face. But we will be here next week like we always are, sharing all things shuttle, on the road living, and everything else that comes with it.
Thanks for watching. Thank you for supporting. We love you all and we appreciate you all so much.
See you next week.
Solo YouTube bit. Look at that.
Oh, look at that, huh? Enjoying it? Doesn't look like it, but it sounds like it.